Alright, and we're back with more Ace Attorney investigations. It's been a little while, but I figured I'd get back into this. So let's see. We are on the second case of the game, Turnabout Airlines. So let's go ahead and get that started. Getting opening. Episode 2, Turnabout Airlines. The murder that occurred in my office. The return of the great Ditya Takarasu. Thinking back, everything began on that fateful day, 2 days ago. Yes, everything begins high up in the air, 9,000 feet in the air to be precise. Thank you for flying GoU Airlines. We are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. We're asking all passengers to please return to their seats and fasten their seatbelts. March 12th, 6:13 a.m., flight G390, first floor lounge. Hey, Squish, how are you doing? Why do I feel like I just woke up from a horror nightmare? A horrible nightmare. 6:13, huh? So I was out cold for about 10 minutes. Slight turbulence indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. For your safety, we ask that you return your seats and fasten your seatbelts. I suppose turbulence is to be expected on a flight, though admittedly I'm less comfortable than anything resembling earthquakes. What's this? Travel wallet, but it's not mine. How did someone else's travel wallet end up in my pocket? My head. I want this headache go away. I'll take care of this travel wallet later. I'll hand it off to an attendant. From earthquake-like turbulence to an elevator. Okay, for a bit of context in there, he's got a bit of trauma when it comes to elevators. It's kind of a long story. What am I doing hesitating like this? Actually, I know full well why I hesitate. It was when I was still but a young child. Oh, I guess I'll explain it here. I was caught in a murder that happened in an elevator. And how long am I gonna let my past haunt me? It's just an elevator. I'm a grown man now. I need to behave like one. What the? What in the world happened? Is there something wrong, sir? I must ask you please return to your seat. He's dead! Please calm down. We mustn't jump to conclusions without all the facts. What's wrong? Did something happen? You murderer! No, you have it all wrong. It wasn't me. So unlike the first case of the game, it doesn't really give us who the actual culprit is. We actually gotta solve it ourselves. So, here we go. Let's see what happens. Everyone, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have an important announcement. I'm one of your flight attendants today. Rhoda Tenero. Unfortunately, we have just had a minor accident on the flight. An accident? Don't treat us like we're stupid. I caught a glimpse, and it was a murder. What? Murder? What's going on with this flight? Everyone, please calm down. There's no reason to panic. The flight will stay on course and make its scheduled landing. We are still currently in the middle of a rough patch of turbulence. So until we are out of the area of turbulence, I ask you please remain seated. But someone was killed, right? I mean, what about the killer? Let me off. Please, there is no need to feel threatened. We have already apprehended the culprit. Poor Edgeworth always gets blamed for crimes. I ask, everyone please remain calm. What the heck is he talking about? Why should we remain calm? My name is Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecutor, and I assure you I am not the killer. Being a prosecutor doesn't make you incapable of murder, buddy. Now you listen here. I am not the killer. I simply found the body. So you say, however. I am sure that you are the perpetrator of this crime. I swear on my honor as professional flight attendant. Oh, is that right? I know what I saw. There's even very strong incriminating evidence to back me up. What kind of incriminating evidence is she talking about? We've already alerted the proper authorities at our destination. Until we land, you will remain in our custody by the powers vested in our captain. I'm very sorry, but please understand our situation. Our situation? We're concerned with mine and the direction it's going in. I'm not about to sit idly by while I get accused of murder. Miss Tenero, is it? Yes. I was wondering if you might give me a chance. A chance? To do what? A chance to plead my case. And a chance to ask what you meant by incriminating evidence just now. To accuse a passenger of such a grave crime without allowing him to give a proper defense. Can the professional flight attendant inside of you really call this action righteous? You have a point. Very well. I'll listen to what you have to say. But be wary of what you reveal. I'm afraid you'll only look even more suspicious if your explanation fails to satisfy. I also do not have time to deal with you all day, so please make it quick. Of course, as you wish. Good. Very well then. Let's get started. I know for a fact I didn't kill that man in the elevator. What I don't know is what sort of evidence she has up her sleeve. But I'm certain it doesn't fit with how the crime really occurred. Okay, so we got a cross-examination going on. I swear to tell the whole truth as a professional flight attendant. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm certain you are the killer. The scene I saw in front of the elevator. It was you standing there with the fresh blood dripping out off the murder weapon. So you'd please cooperate. We'll turn you over just as soon as we land. That's it? That's her evidence? I don't think you could ask me for a more perfect witness testimony. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth? Not really. It's hardly perfect when there's a gaping hole in it. Okay. What do I have available as evidence? Okay, so we have our prosecutor's badge. That's not going to help us too much here. Picked up off the floor in front of the elevator. It's mine. It isn't mine, but whose is it? Body found at 6:15 inside the elevator. Stopped at the first floor lounge. Details meals, movies, and other services inside. Okay, can I examine anything? I can examine this. Okay. So we don't have much here. A lot of money on the ground. Statue that's got a little bit of blood on it, so that's probably the murder weapon. Okay, how do I go back? There we go. And then let's see what this says. Details here. So basically an itinerary, all times shown corresponding to our departure time zone. Okay. Interesting. So, I think the statement that's going to come into question here is, unfortunately for you, Mr. Edgeworth, I am certain you are the killer. The scene I saw in front of the elevator was you standing there with fresh blood dripping off the murder weapon. Okay. So, I'm assuming she's talking about this. Which, I don't think you can kill someone with a wallet. Objection! Miss Tenero. What is with the yelling all of a sudden? Force of habit. Well, it doesn't matter. Miss Tenero, you say you saw the murdered weapon dripping with blood. Is that correct? Yes, all that blood. Drip, drip, drip. Just recalling that scene sends a chill down my spine. Sorry, but your so-called professional flight attendant training has failed you. What? I'd like to direct your attention to this. Do you know what this is? It's a travel wallet, right? But it looks a little big and bulky. The thing you saw me holding when I discovered the dead body in the elevator was this very travel wallet, Miss Tenero. What? Impossible! Now then, you still think I am the killer? That I would kill him with the travel wallet? But I saw blood dripping from the wallet. I know I did. As you can see, the wallet is clearly stained. But if you'd be so kind as to take a whiff, I think you'll agree it's only grape juice. Of course, it's grape juice. Why can't they just say it's wine? I don't understand. Then... That's right. You mistook grape juice for blood. The murder weapon dripping with blood does not, in fact, exist. No! There, that should clear up the pesky accusation. Wait, just a sec. That is... I mean, even a wallet could be deadly if it was wrapped around something heavy. I demand you show me what's inside, please. She's trembling. I tacked on please at the end. So this is like I've got her. Is that his alcohol? I don't understand the censorship sometimes. It's a little silly. Because there's clearly bottles of alcohol behind the guy. No, I can't be sure of anything until I see the contents of the wallet for myself. Persistent one. I suppose we have no choice but to see what's inside. Miss Tenero, if you'd be so kind as to open the wallet and check its contents for me. Alright. I usually don't pry into passengers' belongings, but we have no choice here. Okay. So this is gonna gonna show that we can kind of investigate different items. How do I do there? It seems a passport is all that's in here. As you saw, there is nothing but a passport inside. That renders your wallet was the murder weapon argument moot. Wouldn't you agree? Please hear me out, Mr. Edgeworth. What is it now? Well, I was wondering, whose passport is it exactly? Can I take a look? Why not? I'm rather curious myself. This is just as I thought. The travel wallet belongs to a Mr. Ackby Hicks, which makes it the victim's property. You stole the victim's wallet, didn't you? How dare you? You said it yourself. You claimed to be holding this wallet in your hands when I found you. Perhaps I misconstrued the wallet for the murder weapon, but it seems that I wasn't wrong about who the culprit is. As you claim, the murder weapon is not the travel wallet. However, it is something you stole from Mr. Hicks after you were done with your vile deed. I find it hard to believe myself, but your motive was simple. You were out to steal Mr. Hicks' money, weren't you? So, even though I didn't have the murder weapon on me, you still suspect me, I see. You stood up at the crime scene with the victim's wallet in your hands. How could I turn a blind eye and not suspect you of foul play? Okay, this is an easy one. That's pretty good. Okay, so all we gotta do is find the passage about the stealing his money. I believe myself, but your motive was simple, very simple. You were out to steal Mr. Hicks' money, weren't you? Okay, we know that's bullshit because he's got money all over the floor. Objection! I wonder if I may get a word in, Miss Tenero. What is it now? Miss Tenero, I wonder if you noticed a contradiction within your own testimony. What are you talking about? It's simply impossible that the motive for this murder was monetary theft. One glance at the crime scene would have told you that. Okay, obviously it's the money on the ground. Take that! If I may direct your attention to the things strewn about all over the floor. Ah, that's right. The floor is covered in bills and coinage. By the rationale, these are the very things the killer was after. I I think we can assume that the wallet fell during the victim's struggle with this killer. I would think that the killer wouldn't have noticed something like the money scattered everywhere. Furthermore, as you can see, there was no effort made by the killer to gather the money. But the wallet... Ah, yes, the wallet. You will also recall that the only thing that was in it was Mr. Hicks' passport. If you were really insisting that it was a crime based on greed, then you're claiming that it was all for an empty travel wallet. Forgive me! Please! Okay. Hey, what the heck? Are you saying the attendant's wrong? So the guy isn't the killer? Don't believe it, everyone. It's a trick. Ugh. Will you all please be quiet? Miss Tenero. Yes. You lost your cool when you saw the dead body. Plus the lounge was dark. Looking into the light from the elevator, it's easy to see how you mistook the wallet in my hand for the murder weapon. Take no offense if you thought I was the killer. Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you for releasing me. Oh god, now we got another person freaking out. What is it now? I have no idea what he's saying. Mr. Nero, if you could please translate, I'd be much obliged. It sounds like Bug-Indian? But I don't understand any of it. There's another attendant on this flight who... I said that he is giving the runabout. I don't require an interpreter. I speak English just well, see? You, the attendant. Yes, sir? I want this person to be arrested, under the arrest until we arrive at the airport. I'm sorry, sir, but what exactly are you hoping for? What is it you want? I am finished talking to the likes of you. Please, I'd like to hear why you would like me to be held under arrest until we land. You! How dare you try to waste my time? You were the one who stuck your nose into my affairs. I'm going to spend even one more second with my precious art. I have no time for other things. I know what you are. I see through you. Solve it. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it in English. I should hope I'm not monetary bankrupt, but I don't think that's what you meant. I'm sorry, but I don't think I caught your name. I am Zinc LeBlanc II. I'm a very wealthy man in Borginia. But I'm not an ordinary rich man. I am an art dealer, rich seller of beauty. Mr. LeBlanc, what did you mean just now? Pardon? When you said that Mr. Edgeworth was giving me the runabout, I have to explain? Unbelievable. I will say it once and only once. I do not even have a second to waste. Time is money, as they say. Yes, and yet you continue to blather on. I saw it. Yes, I did. I saw the victim go onto the elevator, going down to the lounge. It was exactly at 6 o'clock. Okay, so what does that have to... And what's the significance of that time? 6, he says. Wait, you saw him at 6? What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? He understands, I see. Miss Attendant, what time did you discover the body? It was a little after that patch of turbulence, so I would say around 6:15. Ah! Hicks was his name, was it? When I say that man Hicks was killed in a 15-minute time span, and the only person in the lounge at the time was his prosecutor, yes? Yeah, I was in my seat the whole time. Me too. I was watching the movie and enjoying a fine glass of grape juice. That is not grape juice! I was still eating. Still haven't finished, see? The other passengers have an alibi, so I have no problem with them, I suppose. No complaint, I see. Not a single word against this, right? I have no way of discounting what you have put forth at this point, but it wasn't me. Oh, so you say. But do you have what you say, the evidence? Mr. Edgeworth, are you really the culprit after all? Mr. LeBlanc, I suppose you're quite certain of what you saw. Enough to give testimony? Of course! was looking at the man the whole time. He was playing with that annoying small machine the whole time. Machine? Yes, that's what you people call it in English, yes? Being crazy with the click, click, click. In the description, it sounds like some sort of small computer. I believe what Mr. LeBlanc is talking about is a cell phone. I have to say that I did see him playing with it quite a bit myself. Simple cell phone? Laptop or organizer I can see, but that's kind of low budget. I hate that noisy little machine in his hand. Not a fragment of beauty. All it produces is ugly sounds. Anyway, I know what I saw. It's Teniro. Yes? I was wondering if I might be granted permission to examine the crime scene. What? You want to examine the crime scene? If you would grant me a little measure of time, I'm sure I can produce the real culprit. Don't like the sound of that. Fox in a duck's pen. Yes, I think that's how you say it in English. It's Fox guarding the hen house, and I believe my innocence was proven earlier. And I'm given the chance, I can clear up all the remaining doubts. Scenario. If you wait until we arrive, there's a good chance that some evidence will have been destroyed by then. I understand. Let me see what the captain has to say. Ha! This should not be approved. Please, Mr. LeBlanc, it's an emergency. All decisions are to be made by the captain alone. Now, please wait here while I go ask the captain what to do. Be right back. I still haven't done the most important part of this game, which is actually the investigation part. So I kind of want to get to that because that's the actual interesting bit. You're not planning to erase evidence when you're doing your investigation, yes? Of course not. We will see. Mr. Edward, you have the captain's permission to investigate the crime scene. What? Unbelievable! I'm in your debt, Miss Tenero. However, there is one condition. I'm to supervise you. Can you agree to that? Of course. I see no problem with that stipulation. It's only natural as I'm still a suspect in this case. I take full responsibility and watch Mr. Edgeworth's every move. I hope this is reassurance enough that there will be no foul play. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, shall we proceed? If you need my help with anything, please feel free to use T to talk. It's time to head to the scene of the crime, the first floor lounge. Okay. The other thing we gotta be mindful of, obviously the culprit should still be on this plane somewhere. Oh, well. I didn't actually plan to go that way. I want to thank you for your help back there, Miss Tenero. It was nothing. You should thank the captain for granting your permission. And just so everything is perfectly clear, I still don't trust you. Your standing with me hasn't changed one iota. See, bear that in mind. I received an order from the captain earlier. He wanted you to know that we reserve the right to stop your investigation if we feel you're not making progress. And when we do, he asks you please return to your seat at that time. So my time runs out at his and his crew's discretion, does it? Find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's testimony before time's up. I understand. By the way, is there any place you can think of where the killer might hide on board? I don't think so. Every first-class passenger was accounted for at his or her seat. We made a thorough search of the plane. As for the business and economy class, no one can move between the two classes in first class without a staff keycard. We found no record of keycard being used at all, which means that I have first-class killer on my hands. At least I know that much for sure. And one other thing. No one has been allowed near the crime scene since the murder was discovered either. Alright, here we go. Actually can do some investigation. Now then, let's get started. But where should we start from? Start with Mr. LeBlanc's statements. The crime occurred between 6 a.m. and 6:15 a.m. During the interval, the only person in the lounge was myself, which would make me the prime suspect. However, since I did not kill Mr. Hicks, means the killer was around somewhere. If you believe what you say is true, then yes. First order of business will be to gather information to win your trust. Okay, so let's take a look at the first thing. What floor does this elevator service? Only the first and second, although it can also go down to the cargo hold. However, that requires a flight crew keycard. So the only floors accessible to the passengers are the first and second, huh? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Okay, so first things first, we have the murder weapon. What is this sinister-looking figure on the floor here? Oh, that's the piggy bank of our company mascot, Captain Ugo. One of the many pieces of merchandise we sell at our in-flight shop. The bank is a limited edition, so it's popular that we're down to our last one. It's so popular that we're down to our last one. You have an in-flight shop? Yes, it's just beyond the lounge to the right. The shutter to the store is closed at the moment, but it was open the whole flight up until Mr. Hicks's body was discovered. There's blood here. Has this been the murder weapon? Okay, it looks like he's got something in his pocket. Let's take a look at that. Hopefully he won't mind if I take a look at what's inside. It's a picture. Looks like it was taken inside a building somewhere. I wonder what was hanging off his lanyard. Something missing from this picture. I can put my finger on it. Can I deduce that? Yeah, the picture, right? Mr. Hick's machine is nowhere to be found. His machine? His cell phone, Miss Tenero. So I guess because it's not here. Yes, I think we can safely deduce the killer took it. Okay, missing cell phone. Check the back of his head. I doubt anyone's expecting to find a dead body in the elevator on this flight. So, Mr. Hicks, he's really dead? Yes. She's trembling, though I can't fault her for that when there's a corpse right there. Mr. Hicks, if you're really dead, then please answer yes. God damn it. I see she's over the trembling now, though a new symptom seems to have appeared. Anyway, I should focus on the victim's body. Let's see. There's blood on the back of Mr. Hicks's head. To be the cause of death? He appears to have been struck very hard. Even his glasses are broken. How would that have happened? No, really, how would that have happened? Because if he was hit in the back of the head, but he's in this position, how would his glasses been smashed? Money strewed about all over the floor of the elevator. I guess it was all in Mr. Hicks's wallet at some point. Because here's the thing I'm thinking. If he's hit in the back of the head and it's knocked out here, then like his glasses would have fallen off if they were broken, right? So there had to have been some sort of force on the glasses themselves. But if they were falling off, they're put back on his head. I don't know. We'll find out. A pity that a bronze statue does not when a good drink has been spilt at its feet. The statue of our founder, Mr. Hugo Hughes, who was a huge fan of grape juice. I'm sure he would have been thrilled if he knew so much grape juice was here at his feet. Is that a hint of hero worshipping I detect? In-flight shop is just beyond these shutters. We don't have his permission to open them, so I'm afraid I must leave them closed. There still be clues to be found here in this lounge. I must remain ever vigilant. Okay. How do I know if I've already looked at something? Okay, I'll have the check mark. We probably don't need to check that right now. These bottles and glasses must have been broken by the turbulence. There's quite a bit of broken glass here. Please be careful when passing through the area. Thank you very much for the warning, Mr. Edgeworth. However, no matter how kind you are towards me, know that it does not clear up any suspicions I have about you. I wasn't warning you for the sake of clearing my name. Okay. I piece anything together? Blunt force trauma and the murder weapon, yeah? Statue with blood on it lying next to the body of the man who was beaten to death. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I think I figured something out. Yes, what is it? The way the blood is done on this, looks like it matches up to the wound on his head. Aren't we deserving of the Master of the Obvious title? Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Think it's worth investigating? It would appear that this figure is our murder weapon. Oh, I just knew it. I mean, I can't think of any other connection. Perhaps Master of the Oblivious would be more befitting. Okay, so we are assuming that is... Okay. And then the other thing will connect with the elevator, no? True. There wasn't anyone in the lounge other than myself right before the turbulence. But if the killer was in the elevator along with the victim, there's a different story. Yeah, that wasn't gonna fit. I didn't think that would. But sometimes you just gotta try things out. Okay, so I'm still missing something. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Can I go back to the other area? The door leads to a flight attendant's room. Please understand that it's off limits to unauthorized personnel. The woman's giving off the scent of a woman's perfume. I would think that perfume would smell great, however to me it simply smells. Not that I have any interest in what lies beyond this door. Perhaps we should return to the investigation, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth? Sorry, I spaced out for a second there. Okay, so I'm stuck in this room. I can't go back. Buses and candles thrown into disarray by the turbulence. It's been a while since I've seen this big of a mess. It's terribly embarrassing, but I thought it was an earthquake for a second. And I frantically started searching for gas valves to shut off. The shaking of the plane was bad enough to be mistaken for a real earthquake. Not that I would know, since I was unconscious for most of it. I already checked this area earlier, but it never hurts to take another look. Okay, that means there's nothing new for us here. So we can go ahead and skip that. There's a few copies of Sky magazine in the magazine rack. On special is an English trivia quiz. It's not a bad idea. I've heard that the youth of today don't know how a particle from participle? Now, please don't go around confusing people with made-up words, Mr. Edgeworth. Who's ever heard of a silly word as participle? Case in point. What or who is this? It's a bronze statue of the founder of Go-U Airlines, Mr. Hugo Hugh. The one on the left is when he was around 40, and the other was his 80s. That man aged all over those 40 decades? I should squint more. Okay, that didn't tell us anything. These counter windows offer a glimpse of the sky, but the clouds, they tell me nothing. Mr. Edgeworth, you look like you're talking to the clouds. That's so? And tell me, what do you suppose I say to them? I don't know, but it looks like a rather one-sided conversation. Clouds, they tell me nothing. Okay. Piano? Grand piano is the pride of the plane. We play the music on whatever CD we insert into the CD drive. It's not a piano. It's more like an overgrown music box. But its keys to press along with the music as though it was really someone playing it. I have entirely too much money to waste on overly complex toys. Okay. What else? Gotta be... A toppled over chair. Yet another victim of the turbulence. But no, look at all the grape juice staining the back. You may not look it, but this chair was extremely valuable. It was? Yes, it was used when the Rocker Pals came to tour this plane. The Rocker Pals leader sat in this very chair. I'm sorry, what are these Rocker Pals? I can't believe you've never heard of them. They're all the rage. The Rocker Pals are an extremely popular international band. They added the Pals part as they become more popular, especially among teens. That explains it. I'm not really one for the music of today. I should ask Detective Gumshoe about them later. On second thought, I can already see how confusing the conversation would get. I'm pretty sure that's a reference, like, that is actually, in another one of the games. We actually deal with them. There was spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. I assumed it was spilled during the turbulence. Let's clean that up or someone might get hurt. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I found some very important evidence. What's the important piece of evidence in the scene? Well, it's just freaking obvious.
Take that!
What is it? They're a little smudged. I think we could both agree they're a set of footprints. So you think... Yes, these belong to our killer. Oh, then maybe we should check the shoe sizes of everyone in first class. I don't think it would be any help to us. Unfortunately, the prints are too smudged, which will make it hard to get a definitive match. Oh, I see. Okay, so we got that piece of information, but do we get anything that we can use? Yes, okay, here we go. So we're gonna confirm that, and then in the elevator, connect them, and there we go. I have it! I'm sorry, but I don't understand, Mr. Edgeworth. I can prove that someone other than myself was here around the time of the murder. Really? Yes, it's rather simple, actually. The proof is in the pudding, rather the grape juice in this case. These footsteps here confess to me to this very fact. Someone exited the elevator, alive. Seeing as how the victim is dead, that mean a second person. But couldn't the footprints be from Mr. Hicks himself? If you take a look at the victim's shoes, you can see the soles are spotless. Which means Mr. Hicks wasn't alone in the elevator. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's actually one other person inside the elevator. And we get our energy back that we lost by fucking up. What's going on over there? Oh god, it's this asshole again. Unforgivable. This is unforgivable. You understand what I'm saying? The movie is late. This is the same level of bad as if the plane arrived late. But the movie... What? I will not talk to you anymore. You are just wasting my time. What does the matter, Mr. LeBlanc? If there is no emergency, please return to your seat, sir. Do not tell me what to do. I need not to sit down. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, did you prove that you are innocent yet? If you would like, I will prove my innocence to you right now. Nonsense. You saying my eyewitness testimony is mistaken? Not mistaken. Neither there's room for doubt. I'd be most honored if you please tell me what you saw in detail once more. Fine, suit yourself. Alright, let's see. I am certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator. It was when the needles on my pocket pointed to the 6 and the 12. The body was discovered 15 minutes after that in the lounge, yes? Then you, the only person in the lounge at the time, must be the criminal. Mr. Blanc's conclusion may make logical sense. After all, the only person in the lounge at the supposed time of the murder was me. So, my eyewitness testimony. If you think you could destroy it, then come, let me see. Hurry. Do I look like a man who has having the time to wait for you? Why is he so irritated? I'm the one accused of murder here. Anyway, let's find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's account somehow, and fast. Okay. Okay, so what I need to do...
Hold it!
Oops, wrong button. Mr. LeBlanc, were you able to get a good look at the inside of the elevator at the time? Of course, I saw what was inside. And you're sure that the victim was in the elevator alone? Yes, the only person entering was that Mr. Hicks man. The last outburst is a little too important to let go. Only person inside was Mr. Okay, I needed that anyway. Okay.
Objection!
Mr. LeBlanc. What is it? There is a very glaring contradiction in your testimony. What do you mean? Please take a look at the area in front of the elevator. There, at the spilled grape juice. Yes, and? Will you admit you also spilled it with the blood? No, it spilled itself during the turbulence. But the interesting thing here is a set of grape juice footprints. Footprints? Yes, the one that lead from within the elevator out to the lounge itself. It's evidence that proves that someone other than Mr. Hicks exited the elevator, alive. There must have been another person in the elevator with Mr. Hicks. Now then, I'm done playing games. Why don't you tell us the truth? can you please translate for us? No way. That's totally impossible, I guess is what he said. No way. That is totally impossible. I know no other person is in there. I saw with my own eyes. If you want to know what I think, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't think Mr. LeBlanc is lying to us. Well, she's right. Doesn't seem to be lying. But then, what does it mean? What about this contradiction? Mr. LeBlanc? Please just one more time, will you recall the details of what you witnessed for me? I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. I was always checking the time over and over again. I happened to follow that man with my eyes when he passed me. And I saw clearly into the elevator he was entering. But I swear there was no one else inside. No one. Okay, this feels like another one where I have to press the statements to get some new information. Mr. LeBlanc, if you'd please calm down. What? Dare you too have an issue with my eyewitness testimony? No, not at all. Please forget I said anything. Again, he doesn't appear to be lying. So I can't let this testimony stand as the truth. Very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. Why were you upset about that?
Hold it!
So, are you still upset now? I am always upset. The only time I am not is when I have a piece of art in my hands. Surprisingly easy to believe that about him. But I was even more upset when Mr. Hicks walked by me. I was always checking the time over and over again.
Hold it!
Okay, why were you doing that? Why were you so attentive to the time? Because something unforgivable was happening. Come to think of it, you were yelling at something unforgivable earlier. I was giving a complaint to the attendant about the movie's starting time. Turn back to me my time and money. You understand the point? Movie? Is he talking about the in-flight one that's mentioned in the magazine? Summary of the plot and its start time. Interesting. This was a show licensed to love, laugh, maim, and murder. Cannot see the movie in my country. Only see it on international flights. Forward greatly to that movie. I check my pockets whenever possible so I would not miss it. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came aboard. So my watch is not wrong. It matched the schedule. But the movie is still late. Very, very late.
Hold it!
Your pocket watch. I'd like to ask you a little bit more about it if that's alright. The movie I wanted to see would not start, so I checked my pocket watch many times. My watch is set to the destination time. I always set it when I board the flight. Didn't we read something about time earlier? Hold up. Details. Yeah, all time zones correspond to the departure time zone. That's why it's messed up. Okay, hold up. Present.
Objection!
Mr. LeBlanc, you said just now in your testimony. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came aboard. Now, if your watch had been set to our destination's time zone, it would mean that your watch is displaying the time of our destination. Yes, and the correct time is worth its 6 cents. I'd like you to take a look at this. If you believe the Sky magazine, clocks on this flight run in accordance with the time of our departure time zone. Of course, the movie schedule also created that in mind. Ms. Tenero, for confirmation's sake, what time zone is that flight aligned to right now? Well, we made a short stop at the transfer point. That's right. In that small Asian country, the Republic of Zhengfa. But we didn't readjust our onboard clocks at that time. So right now we're still running on the Bulgarian time. What? Time difference between Bulgaria and our destination is 9 hours. In that case, it's only natural that your watch would be out of sync with the schedule. Further, with your analog watch set to our destination's time, it would appear to be running 3 hours fast when you compare to the flight's onboard clocks. It also changes everything about your testimony, and you can bet 1,000,000 cents on that. In light of this information, it means you saw Mr. Hicks 3 hours prior, at 3 a.m. To clear up all the remaining accusations. So this basically widens the time frame for the time of death, right? Yes, because Mr. LeBlanc saw the victim enter the elevator at 3 a.m. It means that the time of death could be anywhere from 3 to 6:15 a.m. The question is now, where's Mr. Hicks during that span of time? What was he doing? I've got something to say. And you are? Yeah, oh. I'm Cammy
Oh my.
Mealy? I'm trying to understand the puns here, because some of the names are puns. Like, as the first case...
Chamomile.
Hmm?
Chamomile.
I'm a flight attendant, and what is it you wish to say? Well, I think your story is a little different from how I remember it. What do you mean, Cammy? I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know. I used to be so sure of the time. That's right, he pushed his call button when we were parked at the transfer point. What the fuck is this? Okay, a message from Captain Ugo. This flight will be making a brief stop to refuel and transfer cargo in the Republic of Zhengfa between 4 and 5 a.m. We also, all the passengers remain on board at that time. Thank you for your cooperation. The stop we made for refueling and cargo transfer in Zhengfa, correct? Yes, it was from 4 and 5 a.m. according to our clocks. And during that time, did any of the passengers leave, or did any new ones board this flight? No. Not a single person got off or in Zhengfa. What about the flight crew? A few who were handling the cargo transfer might have temporarily gotten off or on or off, but eventually everyone, including Cammy and myself, came back on the plane. Basically, I can assume that no one got left and got on since the initial takeoff. Interesting. I should keep that in mind. Yeah, and I answered his call. I can tell you Mr. Ackby Hicks was here in his seat when we took off again at 5 a.m. Right, then that puts the time of the murder between 5 and 6:15 a.m. Okay, what time did you come down to the lodge, Mr. Edgeworth? We were coming down here almost as soon as we left the Republic of Zhengfa. You were here the whole time from 5, yes? Then you're the only one who could be the killer. Mr. Edgeworth? Were you really here in the lounge the entire time from 5 a.m. onwards? Fortunately, yes. But then, how do you explain the footprints? It's not that obvious? The man waited for Mr. Hicks here in this lounge, waited to kill him, and he put the corpse in the elevator. That's when the turbulence happened. My eyewitness testimony may have been mistaken. The time I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator on the second floor does not matter, because the entire incident concluded here in this lounge. The thing happened in this lounge? Is that what you really believe, Mr. LeBlanc? Do you have another idea? I simply feel there is something out of place in the scenarios presented. There's something that could tie this crime to a location other than a lounge. The only thing I could think of is this, because there's something being dragged, right?
Take that!
These footprints. In which direction do you think these are headed? This would be the in-flight shop. Correct. They are headed in the direction of the shop. But they look disconnected. They end all of a sudden. You're right to point out that they do not form one continuous trail to the shop. However, there's another piece of evidence that connects the shop to our crime scene. Besides the footprints, what else points to the in-flight shop? The piggy bank.
Take that!
The murder weapon. This little piggy bank is sold at the in-flight shop. It is sold there, and only there, and is not displayed here in this lounge. How then did it find its way here? You find that tiny bit suspicious? Such a trivial point. It only means you prepared it, taking it from the shop first before coming here. It doesn't prove you are innocent at all. Is there no way to win with this man? If I may? What is it? You see, well, it's just as Mr. Edgeworth says. And why do you know this so well? Well, it's just that the piggy bank that was there in the shop, I saw it with my own eyes. And when was this? It was maybe around 5:40 a.m.? Isn't that just before we hit that patch of turbulence? That's right. You were in the shop just before the turbulence. Yes, I was. Come to think of it, Miss Tenero, when I found the body, I believe you came out of that door. Yes, I did. And what is beyond that door? It's a flight attendant's room. And you were on the first floor? Yes. I had to do something at the shop and in the flight attendant's room. So I went to the shop first and to the flight attendant's room. Are you saying you passed by me at some point? Yes, you seemed really into the issue of Sky Magazine you were reading at the time. I don't suppose you noticed me walking by. I vaguely recall someone walking by, but I didn't take notice of who it was. Anyway, the piggy bank was definitely there at the shop when I went there. Why did you go to the shop in the first place? I went there for a work-related matter. Work, you say? Yes, the upkeep of the shop is one of my responsibilities. Why did you not say anything about that until now is what I want to know. In any case, I believe it's clear the shop needs to be investigated as well. Shall we head over there then? Oh god, what now? What is it now? Aren't you forgetting something, Miss Rhonda? Don't you need the captain's permission to check the shop? No, I haven't forgotten. But I've already asked for permission to search the entire plane. I think we're alright. Huh? That's weird. What is? Well, I just talked to the captain, see? And he said he didn't give you permission to do anything like that at all. What is the meaning of this, Miss Tenero? I mean, she's lying. Go on, admit that you are. You said you had permission to search all over, but you don't. Yet here you are. You, flight attendant! What are you trying to do? Pull the sheep over us? The captain's calling for you, Miss Rhonda. Rhoda. Oh, and don't worry. I already got permission to search the shop from the captain. See, unlike you, I do things the right way. Miss Tenero, why would you do such a thing? Please excuse me. Oh, that was suspicious. Looks like I get to be in charge now. Please go back to your seat, Mr. LeBlanc. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth. If you would follow me, I will be your guide from now on. Something about Miss Tenero that has piqued my curiosity. Right now, investigating the in-flight shop is my top priority. Okay. Okay. We're gonna drop a quick save because we've made some serious progress. Actually, probably gonna be ending the stream here shortly because I only want to go for about an hour. This case is definitely longer than the last one. So I don't have any sort of clue on what's been going on. This is the in-flight shop. It's quite a mess in here. Think? Guess I'll have to clean things up then. Hold it! Can't clean up a potential crime scene. Oh, thank goodness. I hate cleaning so much. Mustn't rush things here. Must remain cool, calm, and collected. As this piggy bank was left at the crime scene. There's a very good chance that the killer had paid this place a visit. Okay, so let's take a quick look around. What are these? Those are companies that well, I already see one thing that's interesting. Oh, those are companies' completely original line of suitcases. They're practically flying out the door. That's how popular they are. You should buy one and see how you like it. You won't regret it. That's how things work on this flight, but in the real world, you try, then buy. No way. But either way, it doesn't really matter. True. Either way, why would anyone buy a suitcase after they boarded the plane? Anyway, see that? Just look at the Captain Ugo's heads painted on there. New company mascot, isn't he? They're painted on with a lot of care. Doesn't he look like he's about to jump out at you? certainly making something jump inside my stomach. Huh? Guess there's no fooling your fine taste. You look like you really wanted to get one. I thought I was going to finally make my first sale, but you saw right through it. Glad that's done, though. Never make me try to give you a sales pitch ever again, okay? But I never showed any interest to begin with. It really is pretty horrible, isn't it? You want to know something? That suitcase was designed by Miss Arada. Siniero designed this? Yeah, it was a company-wide contest. Well, it does have a very sharp design sense. Sharp? Like sticky sharp cheddar, maybe. Really have no idea why the bigwigs decided to go with it. It's so... bleh. Siniero designed this, did she? Definitely not what I would have expected. You okay? Fine. Please watch yourself, Miss Mealy. Letting a suitcase freely roll around has got to be a safety violation. Here, I'll put it back. Okay, that's not even the important thing here. There's one thing that's a little bit more important. Can I take a look at it again? No. But obviously one of the wheels of this suitcase is a different color, which means it's probably the one that was dragged from the crime scene, no? Glass for this display case door is shattered all over the floor. Looks like there is nothing on the display inside either. Wait, actually, I think there is something. What's this? A mini captain's hat? Stuffed toys, just like the one Miss Melee is holding, are on display here. They're relatively cheap, which explains why they're displayed so haphazardly. How about it, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't you know you want one too. They're great for when you're stressed. I do envision stuffed animal abuse when she says that. Okay, let's take a look at our information, because I'm pretty sure we can put the tiny captain's hat on the murder weapon. The hat probably used to be on the piggy bank's head. Let's give it a go and see. I believe this piggy bank was forcibly removed from this display case. Does this mean the killer broke the glass to get at it? Culprit must have shattered the display glass to take it. No, that doesn't make any sense because the glass is on the outside. Really? Don't tell me you don't know what things go, don't tell me you don't know where things go in this shop. Well, I don't. Serrano's in charge of this place. So come on, how should I know anything? Since that further inspection of the display case is needed. Okay. Won't rest until I inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Glass in the float door is broken. Perhaps it was the killer who broke it in order to take the piggy bank. It's a bit odd that the inside of the case is so devoid of glass shards. Plus, the glass broke rather cleanly. What is it? I touched the glass and it cut my finger. Don't need that mental image right now. It hurts, Mr. Edgeworth. It hurts! Please tell me you can deal with such a minor cut on your own.
Eureka!
There's definitely something very unusual about this. About what? If the killer had broken the glass to get the Captain Ugo bank, there should be shards of glass inside the case itself. Oh, I see. I guess it'd be like that. However, there's not a single piece of glass inside the display case. Nope. No, there isn't. Which means that the glass was broken from the inside out. Piggy bank must have fallen over from the turbulence and right to the glass. Yeah, that's for sure. There's so much glass all over the floor. I'm willing to bet that this hat was knocked off its head at the time, too. That's nice. Which leads me to believe that the killer took the Captain Ugo bank from here after the turbulence. Your power naps on your own time, Miss Mealy, and listen to when I'm talking. What? But the murder occurred before the turbulence, which rules the piggy bank out as the murder weapon. Does that mean the bank's not the real murder weapon? It's a fake? Yes, at this point, this is a very real possibility. But then, what if when the killer went to take Captain Ugo, they broke the glass by accident? Display case is locked, so that's highly unlikely. Yeah, but there's one person who could have. Well, and who would that be? It's Rhoda, of course. I mean, she's the one in charge of this place, so she has the keys to everything. It's Rhoda Tenero, huh? Okay. Alright, and we can kind of see that the suspicion is going to be put on the other flight attendant at this point, but I think right now I'm going to stop streaming. It's been about an hour. Made some progress in the case. We still don't have everything, all the answers yet, but, you know, it's a start. Maybe for next time we'll try to solve, we can either get to the end of this case or get maybe most of the way there. I think these cases are gonna get a lot longer as we get through here. But for right now, I'm gonna save and I don't know, play something else. And my voice is kind of getting a little tired, so thanks very much for watching, everyone, and I will see you all next time, and hopefully you guys are enjoying.